slides. Good morning, everyone, and warm welcome to this, the first session of AIOC at LDP of this conference. I am your moderator for today, this 1.5 hour program, and we have a wonderful and prominent persons who are the chairperson for this session. Kindly change the slide, please. Yeah, the first chairperson is Professor S. Natarajan sir. He doesn't require any introduction in this LDP group because who are today or what we are today is just because of him. He started this program long back and always encourage all of us for that. So I request Professor Natarajan sir to please come on the dais, sir. Change the slide. Second co-chairperson for this session is Dr. Chitra Ramamurthy ma'am. She is the ex-chairman ARC AIOS, and ma'am has taken many initiatives. What you have did in the last 3-4 years in the changes, or what you have observed that those changes in the ARC is because of her. She always said that ARC is my third baby, apart from two. So with this, we will start this session. We have our Bhavan sir. Next slide. Oh, I think sir left for some another work. So as far as introduction is start, I will shift to the next slide. So our first speaker is Dr. Namrata Sharma ma'am. Ma'am is not here. So we directly start with the Dr. Natarajan sir talk of spiritualism and leadership. Professor Natarajan sir?
Yes.
Sir, your talk, please.
हाँ सर वही कर रहा हूँ.
All the chairmen, ARC in the past and currently Dr. Prashant Bhavan for remembering me and having me. And my talk is on, he told me, spiritualism and leadership. So I always quote Bhagavad Gita, that's what I follow. And a lot of patients think I know a lot, but I know only one shlok. This is the Karmanyadhikari Phaleshu Kadakshana. The main thing, the English translation I like best is, thy business is with action only, never with its fruits. So the problem is sometimes people say that do your duty, fruit is not yours, which I don't agree. Krishna, I remember meeting Swami Chinmayananda from the Chinmaya Mission in 1977 when I was the student general secretary of Madras Medical College. He told me you can have aim sky high and not ceiling high. He said even though the ceiling looks high, you can reach. So he said if you want to do MA, you have to aim for PhD. If you want to do BA, you have to aim for MA. The reason is you have to always work with outstretched hand. So the second part of the shlok is, so let not fruit of action be thy motive, nor be thou to inaction attached. And unfortunately, this is what a lot of people don't understand. And I read this again and again, and only this one. And recently, I've started reading chapter 18 of, which is the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which actually gives revision of Bhagavad Gita. So I think the main aim is you should have an aim and keep working for it, but don't have the aim so low because you will achieve it one day. And after achieving, you don't know what to do. And whatever is my age now, I should retire, but I'm not retiring. I have a plan which I'll go to tell you. So wise leaders generally have wise counselors because it takes a wise person themselves to distinguish them. This is the, I think spiritual leadership is a leadership style where the leader provides spiritual guidance to the employees, followers, or team members or to achieve various goals. So finally, you have to have a goal. And I remember clearly he mentioned you have to keep on pushing the goalpost so that you look for working further and further to achieve more and more. And a leader is intrinsically motivating and inspiring workers to create vision, value, sense of responsibility through a spiritual guidance in order to foster a higher level of employee well-being. So being spiritual does not mean, I will just show you, is supposed to be selfless, inculcate kindness and integrity, always be ready to learn more, and develop the best possible way to convey your message gently and effectively, help others in the best possible way. The second part, during the fellowship, the fellows under me, nobody is here today, but they're all, the organizing secretary is my fellow, Dr. Anirudh Maiti. They all will tell, unfortunately I was not gentle, and that's why one of my fellows said, I put a picture of Master Shifu, removed the head and put my photo, and I didn't understand for long. Now recently I saw the movie 40 times, the monk who sold his Ferrari, and understood why he called me Master Shifu. So we have, as a leader, you should have vision. So you have to create hope, faith. That's what I do for the patients and for the team. Organizational commitment, so that will increase your productivity. Make difference. Life has a meaning. So everybody should. This is a standard question I ask people, and generally anybody, when I ask, in case they have not thought about it, what is your aim in life or goal in life? They don't know. They keep on telling, I want to be a good surgeon and I want to do service to people, which is because they hear all that, but that's not the real purpose of life. You have to see, you have to go dig yourself, and that's what is spirituality. If you have heard of Ramana Maharishi, he always said, he didn't talk much, but the American author wrote so much about him because he said, only question is, he questioned himself, is who am I? And the same thing he told any visitor who came to Tiruvannamalai, he said, who are you? So if you say you're Natarajan, he'll say that's your name. If you say, I doctor is a profession, who are you? So he keeps asking, your son of so-and-so, your grandson of so-and-so, but still that's not the answer he says. You have to find out who are you. So this is an Indian Hindu monk, philosopher and spiritual leader, the Swami Vivekananda, whom I love him, I adore him, and I read from my childhood. And in my father's car, it was there, arise, awake, stop not until you reach the goal. And that's the same thing Swami Chinmayananda taught me. And he is credited with introducing yoga and Vedanta, the two Indian philosophies, to the Western world. And you have seen, I put an arrow. I actually wanted to dress like him and give something like an extempore debate in the school, which was possible. But later in life, the commissioner of Mumbai Police told me that if you do this, you can be arrested because you are actually humiliating or a big personality. So I decided no. And when I went and met the chief of Belur Mutt, Ramakrishna Mutt, they had told me no, unless you do the course, that is a 3 years course, which is not eligible now because only brahmacharis before the age of 28, I think you can enroll, and 3 years of rigorous training. Amazing. Dr. Swami Vivekananda made rules for Ramakrishna Mission and Ramakrishna Mutt. Ramakrishna Mutt is for the monks who have to undergo rigorous training, shave your head, and also in the first 3 months, I think, I remember my Shankaranetala days, a lot of fellows run away because the work is tough and the chief is tough, that is Dr. Badrinath. So a lot of people have gone in depression and left the fellowship. And so that's because you can't face reality, and you're suddenly coming from a government medical college to Dr. Badrinath's place where it was only discipline and work, and nothing more. So I decided that I'll be a monk in the suit, but I keep cracking joke, and I think there's no harm as a monk to crack joke. So this is another constant inspiration for me, and this is all the time in my with me, and I carry with him what he talks. So he says, stand up, be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders, and know that you are the creator of your destiny. And he's also written a short, he's not written, it has been published by Ramakrishna, I carry with me. Thus spake Thus spake Vivekananda, in which there is a 25 pages of thing of respecting women. And he says women have to be respected in India and we have to teach the world. And he talks a lot about giving responsibility to them. And he says, who are you to protect them? And I am happy Sandhya and all Aarti told me, who are you to teach us leadership development program? Because I said something else. So I think that's right. And I also, today in the Mahashivratri I wrote, Lord Shiva is nothing without Shakti, that's Parvati. And so you have to be stand up, be bold, be strong, take the whole responsibility on your own shoulders and know that you are the creator of your destiny. So Dr. Badrinath taught me 99% hard work, but I changed into, I'm not able to still find one word for hard work, because for laborers it's hard work. You saw them, they are sweeping the floor, carrying luggage, that's hard work. But when you love your work and do with passion, and that's what I did, morning 6:45 to night 1, and again 6:45 in the morning. Never we thought we should take rest. And sometimes he will give homework at night 1 and say, Nati, can I get it this by tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock? He'll ask. That means 6:45 you have to come, do the dressing, and then present to him at 8. Never we grumbled. And whatever, so many ideas we had, he used to smash it away by saying, this is not good, why not you refine? And that's how when I remember when I joined him, he said, I was because he had seen me as a college general secretary, so he said, your life will be under tube light. I said, no problem, and I'm happy that was my investment. Because, so here, this is Aurobindo, who was the inspiration for Dr. Venkatasamy, the founder of Arvind Hospital. And fortunately, I knew him from my childhood because my grandfather was an ophthalmologist in Madurai who was senior to him, and then he created the Goval Trust, which made the Arvind Hospital. First, he started only with 11 bed, and I have seen him as a professor of ophthalmology in Madurai Medical College, and my father worked as a tutor there. And 6:45 will go and sit in the OPD, and if Dr. Nachiyar comes late, he will ask, what happened? They lived in the same house. And he used to say, what happened today? Why are you late? Are you not well? Even though he knew she would have had fever or even she was carrying, he didn't spare her. So that's the same thing with Dr. Badrinath. I remember he told one of the consultant when she became pregnant and went on maternity leave, when is your holiday getting over, he asked. I mean, he's really a workaholic and a taskmaster. And in essence, Sri Aurobindo's teaching insists on transcendence into heightened state of consciousness and becoming better instruments for the divine force to work through. So that's what I tell all the patients. Whatever good surgery I'm doing, thanks to my mentor. But when I'm operating, I'm actually doing the yoga and the meditation, because meditation is focusing nothing. But here, you're focusing something on repairing the retina and intricate work. We have operated, I sometimes wonder why we operated 6-7 hours in the vitreous, which I don't know what I did. But now, same surgery I do in half an hour, 1 hour, maybe 2 hours. But I think concentration. So this is the secret of concentration. Swami Vivekananda said, he said, concentration is the essence of all knowledge. Nothing can be done without it. 90% of thought force is wasted by ordinary human being, and therefore he is constantly committing blunders. The trained man or a mind never makes a mistake, and that's how a good surgeon should be. And he also gives a lot of things, but one of the things is, herein is the difference between man and animals. Man has the greater power of concentration. The difference in their power of concentration also constitutes the difference between man and man. So compare the lowest with the highest man. The difference is in the degree of concentration. This is the only difference we should talk about, no caste, religion. And his speech in 1893, when he went and said, brothers and sisters, he got a standing ovation. And every year I go to Chicago, I go to the same hall. Glad, thanks to the United States of America, federal government has maintained that hall. Hall is empty, but they are kept it pick and span, well furnished. The same place I go and start and give a post like this, and I try to take photos and come. The reason is I admire him. I'm happy. That's called the Swami Vivekananda Marg in Chicago. He spoke in 1893. He lived 39 years of life, And I think till the age of 18, he was playful. And that's what I remind myself. At this age also, I am playful. So encourage a sense of purpose, create a shared vision and meaningful work that speaks to team members' core beliefs and objectives, promoting a sense of purpose and fulfillment. So that's what you have to find. And here, this is my teacher who followed Swami Adi Shankara, and this is also he operated the Chandrasekhar Swamigal, who lived 99 years. He had lost his one eye and did his cataract in 1974. And then he created the empire and the first ophthalmic hospital in India to transform the American technology to India, and that's Shankara Nethralaya. So this is the philosophy of Adi Shankara, which he followed. Let the word Shankara of Shankara Nethralaya ever remind me and my associate, His Holiness command that there be a missionary spirit in the project. Let the word Nethralaya constantly remind me and my colleagues that the place of work is an alaya, and work will be our worship, which we shall do with sincerity, dedication, and utmost love. And this is William Arthur said, and that's about, I every day talk about, that's the time is up. I thought Amrita is not there, no? Time, you're ringing the bell, so
Yes.
can I?
Yes, because there are all the others.
Okay. The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, and the great teacher inspires. And that's my mentor. So every day I salute Mata, Pita, Guru, and Mitra, and Deva. And that's why Aditya Jyoth was inaugurated in an ordinary building. And then from there, so this leadership is not assertion of yourself. Leadership is the art of fulfilling the aspiration of everyone. The knowledge that unites love and wisdom, that uplifts the spirit is spirituality. The knowledge which gives you a broad vision and a big heart is spirituality. And this is the Param Puja Ranchoddas, who is the mentor for the Sadguru Chikacharya. And a true leader should have no attachment to family and friends. The prime concern of a leader should be dharma, the welfare of all living beings. You should not grieve for those who are not worthy to be grieved for. The wise grieved neither for the living nor for the dead. And Dalai Lama, all of us know, and Bible, and I quote all this. So this is my last slide. I'm like the Kung Fu Panda, and I realized you have Master Shifu and Master Ugwe, who told yesterday his history, tomorrow is mystery, and today is the present. In English, it's a gift of God. So I welcome you all to the International World Ophthalmology Congress, because I am the first office bearer of as a treasurer of the International Council of Ophthalmology. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful talk. And what we take message from your talk is that true leader is available everywhere, so either family or workplace or the society. With these words, I will invite our next speaker, Dr. Chitra Ramamurthy ma'am, she is going to speak on why leadership to us means. What are the, first we know from the sir's talk that what is the qualities of the leadership, and now why it is important for us. Chitra ma'am, please.
Very good morning to one and all of you, and moderators on the dais. I think I should blank off this last 1 year, but when I see you all around here, it feels I'm still with all of you anyways. So let's give you all next 12 minutes, push in so much energy into you all that you decide that you don't need this LDP, that all of you are leaders in yourself. So here we go. So when you look at it very simplistically, very altruistically, what is leadership? Essentially, unlike what we think, leadership is not about titles, it's not about positions, it's not about flow charts, it's about how one life is going to influence the other, and that is what is most important. Then next, you have a question coming up. Now, does it mean you have to have a particular virtue in you? You have to have a kind of a surging emotion in you, should be passionate about it? Or is it a very difficult terrain? Yes, it is a difficult terrain. It could be tough, it could be deluding, it could be frustrating, it could be steeped in politics, and you may not be any of it. But then, do we just stay in some predestined slot in which you are already there? Is it that we don't seek some horizon for ourselves? And that is where the story of leadership starts. There was a young boy amidst us in our younger days, and we used to all run flying kites, and he used to be ahead of us. Somehow he used to sharpen those threads of the kite so much that his kite used to cut all our kites down. If his mother had known what kind of leadership she had and she had nurtured him, probably he would have become a leader in himself. This is another family where there is a mistress and a cook. And the mistress has all the family members coming and sharing their woes to her. And the cook has each and every one of them coming to her about their food and what they want. And somehow on the table, something of everything was there. Don't you think there was leadership in that mistress and that woman cook? Have you seen this ant leading all the other ants? Don't you think there was leadership in that ant too? So leadership is seen in every nook and cranny. You have to have that modesty in you. You have to have the humility in you. You should be transparent. They should know that you are a leader. There has to be a commitment in you to keep the entire force together. And on top of it, you have to be that little extra brilliant, that genius. You should have the astuteness and the skill set of a leader. In COVID time, there were a huge number of leaders which you read about in the papers, like 2 engineers taking it upon themselves in south of India to take care of all the old age homes and meet their needs. There were some younger guys who would actually provide free food for the laborers when they were going through dire times. And I think rising up to a challenge in the most difficult times is leadership in itself. Again, as I had said earlier, it's not about false promises or collecting crowds. It's about having that fire in your belly, that true leadership quality. And you won't believe there will be a troubleshooting movement which will come and which will push you indirectly that if you come forward, there could be something you do. And if you let go of that movement, you have actually let go of that leadership movement. Leadership has been defined in different ways as transformational leadership and transactional leadership. When you talk of transformation leadership, it's all about idealism and character building and putting the groups together, individualized considerations, and those kind of very virtuous qualities, whereas transactional is like exchange between a leader and a follower. I pay you money, give you awards, I allow you to grow based on how you have performed. So those kind of individual performance based. So then, when you talk of transactional, the performance is being rewarded, it's productive, there's an order and a structure. But then, in that transactional thing, I wonder whether there was a loss of creativity, whether they were getting punished if they didn't perform well, were they somehow not able to motivate the entire group. And that is where these women were largely identified with the transformational leadership because they had those kind of idealistic thoughts and it became a breeding ground for more leaders to evolve. Leadership has many ways. Like you could be actually leadership from behind because you need to understand the people in front of you are themselves very energetic, ambitious partners who actually think they are leaders in the making. So sometimes it's better to be a leadership from behind when it is called as a shepherd leadership, wherein the smarter ones in the flock will move forward, but you are directing them from behind and never losing control. So its leadership is not about a big tag. You may occupy a bigger place, but it is sort of an understated thing that you're leading from the back and yet you are in the fore. But then, you are leading from the back, you don't relinquish your control. You have to teach them. You have to allow them to recognize their own forte. You have to be firm, but you have to generate a sense of belonging in your team. And how will you be unique amongst them as a leader? Because you have to have that out-of-box perception. You have to be a robust leader, and you have to always keep your image versatile. In other words, it's about planning and understanding that there's something is going to happen which may not exist there, and allowing all of these friends along with you to become great managers. So in other words, it's all about these virtuosities which time is not going to allow me to tell you about each of it. But then, a lot of things happened in the last 2 years or before in the pandemic because there was gradually the centralization of work going to portable, cheaper ways like a home place and workplace slowly dissolved. You know, they sort of you realize that you could work for home. You could realize that women were versatile. You realize that why waste money on office space and rentals? You're saving for the company. So, there was an advantage, but there was a double load for the woman involved because they had to take care of the children, the family. They may not have a supportive husband. But the company saw that the men and women were working together. There were different thoughts which were coming up. It was breaking boundaries, and sort of it became a broader reach for women also to come. Of course, we know about history, and we know that women were never given priority positions. Why go into those negatives? But gradually they did evolve, but constantly it was said that woman is not dependable. She is going to be plagued with new challenges. She might take leave any time, whereas the man in question was sort of unfettered and unhindered and kept moving on. But then lot of things happened, lot of movement leaders evolved, and all the companies realized when a woman and a man were working, there was a diversity of thoughts, beliefs, and understanding. So sort of lot of new things, newer ideas, newer things evolved, and they became actually a stronger platform. While all this was happening, there were women mentors who were evolving, who were trying to make the other younger women get together and have a common base of thinking. But then, some of the women leaders thought that if they get connected to these general women, they have worked hard to be a leader and they cannot be brought down. So sometimes they would just pretend to help them and not help them at all. Having said that, we have moved forward. We have childcare, we have creches, we have flexi times, we have remote working, and largely women understood and grasped that movement and moved forward. But there are moments to ponder. This was a Harvard School report which found that the female partners there was an increased hiring, there was an increased overall returns for a company, there were profits which were coming up. But there was also this thing called glass cliff, which you need to know when you talk of leadership. Whenever there's a crisis moment, or suppose the company is going to break and collapse, a woman leader is called forward. Is it that she's called in the last minute, or is it that she can handle a crisis, is what you need to judge from that. Again, there were global databases which were studied, which showed that women leaders were actually very much in the forefront and outscored men in many ways. So what did you see? You saw a history of struggle, a gender bias, pay gaps, you found social discrimination, social harassment, but then the woman had started going forward. Then we talk about leadership in ophthalmology and also about women. Men are there anyways. So, but what was it? Actually, there's a silver lining. The mantle of the leadership is actually being diverse, and logistics are different. But there are crossroads for all these young women sitting here. There is a career pull, there's a family pull, and it was seen that the women were working a lot more hours in the day than a man of her stage was. So, but then a woman needs to know there has to be a time to pause, to take care of the family, the immediate needs, build up her relatives, her in-laws, all that family as her support systems, because they are going to be her foundation to move forward. The scenario will keep changing. A sense of redundancy will come when you see that all your colleagues, the guys, have moved on. But then you only see obstacles when you take your eyes off the goal. So what this young woman should do, she should keep on evolving smaller qualifications along the way, take things in shorter steps, take short working hours. Maybe she has to understand that for her, against what is it to her husband, growth is going to be a continuous process, a steady climb, and her career is her personal belonging, not her family's belonging. In other words, she should have a questioning mind, a constant urge to move forward, and should understand that it is a solitary climb. Again, the salary index was seen that the men are earning more, but then you could look at so many models which are there. If your husband is doing well, join him. You could join small practices, you go into corporate practices. You could do anything which suits you, and you could use that practice and grow and become the kind of leader. So anything can happen as you move on, as long as you realize that you can make it a level playing field. So then, constantly build an army around you. In your social field, become a person to be reckoned. See that you get invited for programs. Don't have to be devious about it. Just be there, be friendly, be approachable. Always ensure that there is some kind of growth, even in a moment when you have to be back for your family, because you have to constantly look at as a career as a big battle and a victory which has to happen. You have to differentiate yourself wherever, even do not allow negativism to come into you at any point of time. You have to be a very strong person. You have to strengthen your strike and believe that any horizon is a reachable horizon, and gradually you would keep evolving. So all of this I had already said. So then, what happens is, as you move on, there is a sense of ownership which you have in what you have achieved, and then you need to look at all the other points, how you could diversify. I was started to talk about leadership to the fore. I talked to you about transformation, transactional leadership, about shepherd leadership, and then suddenly I moved on to women in leadership. Because 70% or 80% of the ophthalmologists are women. So I thought, let's concentrate on this woman. A woman is foolish to pretend she's equal to men. I tell you, a woman is far superior and has always been. It is said that if you want something said, you ask a man. But if you want something done, please ask a woman. So this woman, which you see here, all of you around, is a woman to be watched. Don't challenge her. She has made newer families her own. She has risen up slowly. She has cherished movements. She has taken diverse paths. She's a man in a man's world, a woman in a woman's world. And I think it's up to you, women, each of you, as to what you want to make yourself. I'm concluding. If you educate a man, you have educated an individual. But when you educate a woman, you educate a family. And I think what matters is how you, each of you, see yourself. So leadership is possible at all levels, men and women. I'm as much with the men as I am with the women. I think each of us have to dream our own dream, the right quotient of work, and probably if you are lucky and you have the right amount of forgiveness, why the woman, the men, the world is yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chitra, for a wonderful, no argument, we surrender. And that is true. And even, okay, is Dr. Anuradha Tote here? Is here, Anuradha? Deepak, so.
I will start the next.
Pardon?
I will start the next.
Which
Yeah,
one?
requesting Dr. Natarajan sir to please, to please give the certificate to ma'am.
Chitra, for you. Sandhya, take a photo.
Change the slide, introduction slide.
Next slide, please. Moderator slide. Can you please switch on the moderator slide?
Excellent talk.
So we'll be introducing the new batch of LDP. Welcome, warm
Change the
welcome to
slide,
all
please.
the LDP members.
Slides. No.
Next,
Dr.
next
Manish
slide.
Tandon.
Next
Dr.
slide, please.
So,
Next,
our new
next.
LDPs,
Next,
kindly put the slide of Dr. Manish Tandon.
next. Next.
Okay.
Go to the next, please.
It's same slide they are running.
Repeated.
So,
Yes, now.
so I
next.
will,
पीछे मत जाना, आगे जाना.
yeah, new batch. Yeah.
हाँ.
Dr. Manish Tandon, please come on the stage and share few words about yourself. I am happy to share that he is from my own state and rest he will introduce himself in a brief.
A microphone.
Mic on.
Good morning, respected all present here. Thank you, Deepak. I am Manish. I come from the state of Uttar Pradesh, and I practice in Prayagraj. I do retina work there, and it's my honor and privilege to be a part of this vibrant batch. And I hope that we are able to learn much and put it into the practice, whatever we take it from this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
You took part in our with Dr. Kamalji Singh for
Sir.
the diabetic retinal screening, no?
Yes, sir.
You can tell about that. You did a leadership already for working in the Prayagraj, Allahabad Kumbh Mela.
Oh, rainbow train. Dr. Anurag Kashyap, I think he is not there. Dr. Ashwini Kumar Behra.
You should work more now.
Dr. Ashwini is here. Change the slide, Dr. Ashwini. Fast. Next one is Dr. Sushil Kumarkar. Sir, please come to my podium.
Hello. Fine. Good morning to all. Sorry for my appearance. I just landed in the airport and didn't want to miss the session, so I came direct from airport to here. So I am from Odisha, and I just 1 year before I opened my own small center known as Naitrika, and I started my small fellowship program. I trained 2 fellows as of now, and doing that, and it's my privilege to learn from seniors and mentors on the dais and on the days throughout the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ashwini. Next is Dr. Sushil Kumar. Yeah. Dr. Remya.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr.
Please
Sushil Kumarkar. I belong from the state of Odisha, and I am doing a private practice. Generally, I have completed my fellowship in comprehensive ophthalmology from LV Prasad, Bhubaneswar, and now I'm doing my private practice and joined Lions Eye Hospital as a cataract surgeon. Thank you.
Thank you. Change the slide.
Good morning, everyone. Respected teachers, my batchmates and seniors. I'm Dr. Remya Edacheri. I'm from Kerala, practicing pediatric ophthalmologist in Kannur. So I'm so happy to be here. I did my last year Kerala LDP program, which gave me more inspiration to participate in this session. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Samira.
No,
Dr. Samira is here. Dr. Sandhya Makhija.
I am only 9 to 10:30.
Dr. Samira, slide, please.
Yeah, just 10:30. Yeah.
One back.
Somebody
Yeah.
go out and come back. No, she told me 10:30, I agree. The second one.
Good morning, everyone. Very happy to see all of you over here. I'm Dr. Sameera. I'm from Kerala. I'm a vitreoretinal surgeon. I have started my own center 4 years back. So that is the first of its kind in Kerala with a pure vitreoretinal center which we have started. So there were lots of hardships which were there when we have started at the clinic and all. But so happy to see you, over here. So wish to have a friendship with all the teammates which we'll be doing for the for the coming 1 year and all. So let's all get into the leadership and make our world much more brighter. Thank you.
Dr. Sandhya.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sandhya Makhija from Delhi, and so happy and honored to be here with all of you and knowing you all, and with my esteemed seniors and my colleagues. Thankful to LDP, ARC, Dr. Prashant and everyone. I did my vitro-retina from Retina Foundation with Dr. Nagpal's Foundation, and then I'm in private practice in Delhi since then, and very happy to be here. I've been actively involved in DOS and various other societies' work, and I was really inspired to be a part of this LDP session, and really thankful and happy to be here with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Manpreet. Dr. Sabsachi Bose, you are here.
A very good morning to all of you.
Change the slide of Dr. Manpreet, please.
I'm Dr. Manpreet, currently working as Associate Professor at RP Center for Ophthalmic Sciences, AIIMS, New Delhi. I specialize in cornea, cataract and refractive surgery, and it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manpreet. Dr. Sabsachi.
Hi everyone, very good morning, and thank you so much to LDP for this opportunity. I only want to develop one thing amongst all of us, and that's camaraderie, and and a yarana, if I might call that. And I'll quickly sing a line from a song, if you are all okay with that. बदले ना अपना ये आलम कभी, all of us, जीवन में बिछड़ेंगे ना हम कभी, यूं ही जाओगे आखिर कहाँ हो के हमारे, यादों की बारात निकली है आज दिल के द्वारे. Thank you.
Thank you. So I invite all the new batch to have a group photograph with the chairpersons. Then we start our future next proceedings. Please. All the LDP batch participants come on the stage for a group photograph. Please. Hello, Pallavi, you come.
I'll be there. Dr. Anuradha is there? No, no. Okay, then we'll start the debate. So all the four are there, Neeraj Shah, Indu Pandey, they are there? No, both of them? Okay, then the Radhika and Gagan? Yeah, I saw Gagan, yes. Okay, so Neeraj, 4 minutes for you. This is a 4 minutes presentation. 4 minutes for all the four.
Good morning. Good morning, members of the dais, colleagues, seniors, everyone. So the picture says it all. Nevertheless, I'll just...
One minute, I think the timer, 4 minutes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this picture says it all. However, I'll still go about my debate saying that leadership is inborn. So Bhagavad Gita describes it as a sense of discipline, dharma, wisdom, courage, sense of service. Mahatma Gandhi says is that it is about getting along with people. Eisenhower says it that it is about getting people to do work as if it was their own work. The infamous Machiavelli says that the end justifies the means. Dalai Lama says no one is small or big to make a difference. And then there's this Dave Barry who says that in times of a problem, someone is willing to take command, and that fellow is usually a crazy fellow. And Groucho Marx says that only 1 in thousands of men become a leader of men. Most are all busy chasing women. So first I want a raise of hands. How many of you think that you all can identify a person who has leadership skills? Please, a quick show of hands. Yeah, many of you all. So it is said that education, training, and experience can, make a leader, but that actually is just self-development. A person who can get a job done, can translate goals into a vision into goals, can assign tasks, day-to-day monitoring, getting along with people. That is just management. You need to understand that a leader has to be creative, visionary, inspirational, innovative, risk-taker. And we cannot disregard what the legendary Michael Scott and Yoda says. Master Yoda says that you all must follow your leader unless that leader is an idiot. So this is what a leader is. The genetic studies, we already have research saying that leadership is an inborn quality. There is a lot of literature available on that. But please let me tell you, research also says that there is a lot of environmental influence which leads to leadership. Yes, environmental influence can play about 70% of a role in grooming a leader. But you need to understand that without the inner spark, the innate quality, you cannot make a leader. Not every person with an inner spark can become a leader without grooming, but no one without the inner spark can become a leader in spite of grooming. You might at best just end up creating a manager. And obviously, even if someone has the innate qualities, no one is born a complete and refined task person on day one. So obviously, everything needs grooming. You also need to understand the market valuation. So in 2023, leadership industry was valued at 79 billion. In 24, it is valued at 82 billion. And by 2034, it is valued at 216 billion. So yes, the industry needs to keep flourishing. For the industry to keep flourishing, they need to keep you selling the dream that leadership can be developed, everyone can become a leader. But that is not really possible. You need to dig deep. You need to understand that on what side of the table you are on, and whether you are the buyer or seller of this dream. And like what everyone said earlier, that all of you all can define what a leader is. Once you, all of you all can identify a leader. Leadership is hard to define, but many people can recognize a good leader. So despite millennia of philosophy, we have not been able to identify the key ingredients of leadership. Then how can you make one? That is because when you say you can see a leader, it means you are basically able to identify the inner charisma, inner aura of the person, which makes them a good leader. So I rest my debate here. Thank you for your kind attention.
Can I invite Indu Pandya?
That was a nice talk, Dr. Neeraj. But I think we can again have raised hands. Is leadership inborn, or is leadership also environmentally groomed? Then raise your hand. Both. Leadership, is it inborn, or is it environmentally also groomed? Ask one question. Inborn ho chuka. Ek pehle. Okay.
Well, my colleague seems to be a great believer of the great man theory by Thomas Carlyle.
Timer dali na.
I'll begin my talk. Good
4
morning,
minutes.
my respected seniors and dear friends. For a presentation like this, let us take a route less traveled. Undoubtedly, we have all our notions of how, where, when, and why of leaders. But do we really give a thought to the word leader, what it deserves? We all ask our dear patients to be patient, right? But now see how patient we can be ourselves. Simply observe and enjoy the curated stimulation which I have penned down to put my stand forward. For leaders are not born but made, they can be groomed. There's a volume to it. Titanic, yes, you guessed it right. Some more patience, please. Now let us sum up the past few stimulations. Jack earned his ticket to step on the journey through his sharp-mindedness, a commoner's dream. While Titanic was sinking, Jack fought the discriminatory class system. He took hold of the situation with the lifeboats and saved more lives. Jack had the knack of living the life full-heartedly, be it his sketching, dance, or through a genuine effort to make others smile. This famous autobiographical novel by Louisa M. Alcott was published in 1869, and it narrates the real-life struggles of the author and her family during the Civil War in Concord, Massachusetts. The protagonist, Jo, emerges as a leader. She used the litter from the barn to make theatrical attire, mustache, etc. to produce indigenous plays and keep her sisters and neighbors going through the tough times. Bhuvan was a normal person, a commoner with a dream only to live free. He wanted to take a chance and believed in grit, hope, persistence, and faith. Villagers joined in with skepticism and mocked at his stance. He even faced backstabbing. But he eventually gained victory over the unjust Britishers by sheer hard work, practice, and learning by watching his opponents only. So, as learned doctors, we are all aware of the leaders like Nelson Mandela and Dr. APJ Kalam, who were all made leaders. But are we aware of the life struggles, life histories, and the sustenance of the heroes that are budding through the overshadowing cracks of discrimination? Be it Jack in Titanic, Joe in Little Women, or Bhuvan in Lagan, none aspired to rule, none aspired to gain a throne of power, none were born of a family of privileges, and none knew that they will become famous or role models. All they wanted was to grow. So here are our leaders. They grow wherever they are planted without complaining. They project that they expect for their own selves. And in doing so, they tend to do bigger and better for those around them. So leaders are made through their life struggles and their miseries and a deep sense of inclusiveness. So as a postscript, those tiny cracks, inviting crannies, flourishing corners, and blooming crevices are our door to find the leader in us. Let us together look for it then. Thank you for being patient.
Okay, so since it's a debate, can you put the hand only for one, not for both? Sabyasachi, you are a statistical man here. You cannot show both hands, no? So leadership can be groomed. Can you put your hands up? All, and leadership is inborn. So, Indu Pandey gets it.
Yeah, I cannot say it's inborn.
Can you give the certificates to both of them? Neeraj, can you come and take the certificate from Dr. Chitra?
Just 1 minute. Neeraj. Yes. Come, Neeraj deserves a photo for a wonderful talk.
Yes. Somebody has to take it again. Sandhya will take a picture. And Indu?
Indo?
Indu?
I know it's
Dr. Radhika can come here.
come.
One more debate is enough. Since the debate is started, we have time for it. You have to go again. So give me four minutes.
Yeah, again, why not finish his talk and then we
Okay.
continue. They are going to be here. Sorry,
Radhika.
Radhika.
Dr. Lalit
I think has to go somewhere.
So we can do your debate here. Okay, thank you, Lalit. So can you project Dr. Lalit Verma? Lalit Verma is the immediate past president of our All India Ophthalmic Society and my very good friend, and he is actually a born leader, right? Yeah, he's a born leader because when I became scientific chairman, he helped me as a local organizing committee in 2002 in Delhi, because I was depressed with no money, and he came with me to meet all the companies to collect money, because that time the All India Ophthalmic Society finances were different.
It's not just that. As 6 years as chairman scientific committee, he really brought out talent in every nook and corner. So many young people evolved into becoming leaders. So Dr. Lalit has contributed a
12
lot.
minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Hello. 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 Okay. Thank you, Chitra. Thank you, Nati, for adjusting, because there is a parallel meeting going on. Therefore, I barged into it. I 100% agree that with Hindu that leaders are not born. I don't think so. I would have been here in case I was a born leader. I was not. I was just one day pushed into DOS by my mentor, Dr. H.K. Tiwari. Bhai, aap DOS ki thodi help karo. That's all. And I have no family history of leadership at all. And I humbly 100% believe that leaders can be groomed. There's no doubt about it. So I have a big talk on leadership, but that we'll not do now. My talk, which Prashant Bhawankule gave to me was how to achieve excellence. And excellence, again, is what can be, if you have a passion, you can achieve excellence. Anybody, if I can do it, you can so do it. Anybody can do it. And how to jump from being an ordinary this thing to being excellent, And believe me, it's a gradual result. It's just like karat abhyas. It's not one day affair, it's not one point affair, and it's always striving to be better. You see, whatever you have done today, you aim that next year I'll do this. That is what we did as Secretary AIOS and Chairman Scientific Committee AIOS, that here we are today, tomorrow we want to be there. And today I firmly believe that AIOS has reached a very high level nationally. Internationally, a lot of things have to be done. Internationally, Natti may be known and, Yossi may be known, but believe me, AIOS as a body is not very well known. So all of us have to strive very hard to project AIOS internationally. And also, one point is that celebrate whatever, you have accomplished, but always raise the bar. Next time this. Even this holds true for surgery also. Today, suppose I have done a each disease vitrectomy, tomorrow I should be doing a diabetic vitrectomy, then ROP vitrectomy. So you have to keep improving. Therefore, excellence is a process. It's a process ongoing, provided you have that passion. We have to keep trying our best. Believe me, as I said, if I can do it, so can you. Anybody can do it. But you have to have a right mentor also who keeps encouraging you. See, that also is very important. Therefore, this program of mentor-mentee or TOT, Teachers of Tomorrow, assumes importance. Believe me, never be satisfied. The day you are satisfied, at the end. You can't have a flat, ECG and then you say person is alive. You can't. So therefore, you have to be unsatisfied. And as I said, it's not an inherited talent. It's a hard work which you are willing to do. Whatever, believe me, any leader you ask today, they have struggled quite a bit to reach that level. I'll just enumerate 5-6 points. You have to pursue whatever you love. If you love cataract surgery, go ahead. Don't go by economic factors that, cataract surgery mein paisa zyada hai, so we'll go there rather than retina. Ultimate goal of life is to be happy. Whatever gives you happiness, you should do it. And passion is I think, a fuel that, every day in the morning, I'll tell today, we'll make a list, this is what I have to do today. And if I don't, I will not have a good sleep on that day. So you have to, keep pursuing that. And other things, do the hardest work first only, because that will give you some satisfaction. Normally, we instinctively move towards, player and do the easiest job. But I believe that you do whatever challenge has been given. Then practice intensively. Keep doing. One day you will end up peeling that diabetic membrane easily. And if you give it up, then you will not. You can't say that I can't do it. Then seek expert advice. You see, there was a famous story that a doctor who thought he does the best, but one day he asked his mentor, who was a retired person, to wash and assist him. And he noted down at least 19 points that he was not doing correctly, although he was the most famous surgeon. Believe me, if you have feedback from people and take it in a positive spirit, don't say he's ridiculing me, then you will improve, definitely. So feedback is important. What normally I would do is I will keep reviewing our videos. You see, that is the one source of learning. So whatever surgery you have to do, on the Saturday, Sunday, review whatever you have done. Seeing your own videos, you definitely will become better. So feedback from yourself as well as from peers. But too much feedback, you should be careful also. Some people may give you a negative this thing also. Take renewal breaks because it energizes you. It energizes you from doing better next time. Then this is the most important slide, which I said, ritualize. Ritualize, you have to make this a habit. So that, this will to excel or will to, do better. And discipline is very important. You can't be an indisciplined person and then also strive to better. That is luck. That is luck. So you have to follow this religiously. This slogan I just copied from Google only, that, karat abhyas se hi hota. Even that wrought iron, that, what has been written is rasri. Rasri means that, rope, that also can melt that rope. So it's very important. Like repeated up and down movement of a soft rope, which is very soft, can wear down the stone also. So you have to keep doing. And one day, believe me, by repeated this, you will. And I again reiterate, everybody can become an excellent person. And there are no silver magic bullets that I can offer you. But ye karo to you will become excellent. Ye na karo to nahi hoga. It doesn't require a lot of technology to do it. It's just willpower and passion to keep doing it. And at the heart, you should think and act, as I said, in a very disciplined way. Like I tell today, try to follow like 12 to 6 rule, and you have to get up in the morning. Believe me, achievers, most of the achievers, they will get up in the morning, early morning, and formulate your day, and then maybe you can aspire for this. So I just try to compare excellence versus perfection. Perfection, I think, is a theory. You never achieve perfection because it's always better than the best. So excellence is willing to be wrong. Perfection is being right. Excellence is freeing. Perfection is demanding. Excellence asks what I can give. Perfection asks what does this require. Excellence is love or passion. Perfection is fear. Excellence is empowerment. Perfection is anger. And excellence is spontaneous. Perfection is control. Excellence is accepting, is giving, is confidence, is a journey. Whereas perfection is taking, judgment, doubt, or a destination, which again I still think is a theory. So this in summary is these timeless tips which everybody has. Have a goal, have a passion, do what you love. Strategize things, and study the success stories of others, like why is Natti so successful, or why is Santosh Ranawat doing this, why is he achieving and why can't I achieve? And have a feedback. Keep reading in your subject, whatever subject you are pursuing. What I try to do is that every weekend or every day, nowadays Google is available. Whatever best is there in the anti-VEGF retina, you should know. Otherwise, you can't be taking things for granted. Then work hard, keep working hard, and ask for feedback also. And positive mindset is another thing you should have, that I will achieve. And the other thing is about new technology you should be willing to adapt. It's not that you have today newer machines, sutureless surgeries or AI coming into medicine. That you should be willing. There are positives in every new innovation. Very important is these 2 P's. You see, success may not be an overnight story, but if you have the patience and perseverance, you will. And never be afraid of failures. I can't say I operate 100 detachments and all 100 are successful. So I tell my patients also, 100 में से 100 number नहीं आते हमारे. We try our best. We sometimes fail also. Wind up again with this doha from Tulsidas, karat abhyas. We should, keep repeatedly practicing, keep hard work, and then everybody can become excellent. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Lalit, for wonderful. Any comments on the talk so far? Because we have, I think, 10:07 now. Anyway, I request Dr. Lalit to come and take the certificate. In the meantime, anybody wants to ask something or a comment before we start the last debate? We have 8 minutes for that. Thank you, Lalit. Somebody, Sanjay, you're taking a picture. Okay, make a note because we have some time after the debate. So debate is for 8 minutes. Next is Dr. Radhika to come on females are better leaders, and Gagan to talk males are better leaders. Four minutes, sir.
Should I start? Do I start? Hey there, already angry men and smiling women.
One second. The timer is not good. The timer for 4 minutes, please. 2 laga raha. Okay.
Hey there, already angry men and smiling women. Do I need to say more? Okay, I will continue anyways. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Buddhi Rupena Shakti Rupena Sansthita. Women have been accepted as leaders, better leaders than men, since immortal times, as they are an embodiment of strength, intellect, and they represent peace and prosperity. Leaders like Gargi, Maitreyi, and Lopamudra have paved the way for women leaders. I say they were moving mountains in ancient times. Don't believe me? My dear friends, Ramayana and Mahabharata happened because of women. Even when Lord Vishnu, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh were in a dilemma for a crisis management which they could not do, they created the divine feminine Ma Durga, who they knew was the only one who could slay the demon Mahishasura. Speaking of crisis management in current times, women were rated more effective leaders before and during COVID. All the female prime ministers did a fabulous job at crisis management than their male counterparts. Women excel in teamwork and bring out the best in all team members. Even as homemakers, they are heading a large team of servants, drivers, vendors, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, husbands, children, and not to forget the quintessential manager, the Kam Wali Bai. Multitasking is one area where I'm sure men will surrender their weapons. Yes, they can multitask, but differently. A woman is a nurturer at heart, and care at heart wins hearts at workplaces. When a woman sets out to achieve her goals, nothing or no one can stop her. The never say die attitude always helps her win. I am sure all the married men are on my team now. Atharva Veda states that women should be valiant, scholarly, prosperous, intelligent, and knowledgeable. They should take part in legislative chambers and be the protectors of family and society. When a bride enters the family through marriage, she is to rule there along with her husband as a queen and over the other members of the family. This is called experiential learning. Women are subjected to experiential learning since their childhood. Women are good communicators, and adding fresh perspective and letting go of the ego leads to happier, safer, and more productive workplaces. These are a few competencies for women leaders where they scored better than men. I am sure the one on the right is always right, so it always outweighs the ones on the left. To conclude, women bring unique attributes to the table that make them better leaders than men. If we can progress away from the gender bias as far as leaders are concerned, much can be achieved. I end my talk with the motto for International Women's Day 2024, invest in women, accelerate progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Radhika. So we'll have the voting after both the talks. So Gagan on males are better leaders.
Thank you. I think it's a very difficult topic after this.
Again, a timer.
Yeah, it's a very difficult topic, answering this after Radhika's talk and also after seeing also. How many of you are wearing high heels? So then I need to be very short. So coming to men are better leaders, so coming back to psychology of personality, I think Plato and Descartes had kind of suggested that there are certain factors which are inborn, on which occur naturally regardless of the environment influences. So like genetic predisposition or physical appearances, and that is probably historically which we were following as, being better leaders or making leaders. But then there was nurture, there was a socio-cultural environment which changed, and there was education, and there were life experiences. So which kind of tiptoed the balance, and John Locke came with this theory that mind as a blank slate suggested that everything we are is a result of experiences. So I think leadership is more about this tiptoeing balance, and which is kind of changing over the time. I think this is a very important slide, and Radhika has really made my presentation a little more easier. So if we go for leadership style, we can talk about decision-making, influence, core values, attitude towards risks, communication, modesty, self-promotion, delegation. So if we talk about men per se, if we just talk about the gender, I think men usually as leaders are more autocratic. They seem to command or control the situation more, but they delegate tasks better. So coming to Radhika's point where she did say that, that females involve more people. But if you see the last point, they are less likely to delegate. So if you involve but you don't delegate, that means you don't distribute opportunities. So I think there is a balance. So these are basically, it's not about gender. I think it's more about the personality traits that one carries, and it's a mix of both that is more important. So taking from this, I think I would say that leadership is more of an interactive process. I think it is more about social acceptance by colleagues and to be more effective in your role and your style of working. I think either gender can learn to succeed in their leadership styles, and it is more important to learn to adapt to these styles. So I think Radhika has taught me something, and I maybe might have taught her something and not taken the heels. And I just do believe that leadership is not a question of gender, and differences between these two qualities definitely brings in more diversity of thought, creativity, and innovation. And yes, like no fingerprint, zebras, or snowflakes are alike, no two individuals can ever be alike, and no two leadership styles can ever be alike. And yes, I can say this for sure, that men are better leaders, maybe, but definitely men make better leaders when you're married to a top HR leader for the last 20 years. So, which is known as managerial leadership, as I call it. So that's my wife, Anjali, who's one of the top HR leaders of the country. So definitely men make better leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. So can we put leadership, females are better leaders. How many hands up? The whole hall is female, filled with the females.
See, I didn't get any heels, so that means that men are better leaders.
And men are leaders?
Thank you.
Anyway, I think female are better leaders, that's what the hall says. Can I ask Dr. Radhika to come to collect her certificate? So we have 15 minutes more. Anybody have the full program? Because I don't have the full program with me. Yeah, you have the full program? At 10:30, what is the session? Anuradha is there? Okay, can you, then, okay. So I thought we have leadership lessons from Mahabharata. So the Krishna has come late, huh? No problem, come. Can you have our slides, 12 minutes? But in the meantime, anybody wants to comment or? So it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes, okay. What they have given? Oh, 20 minutes, sorry. Yeah, but you have only 15 minutes, I think, no? Anybody has the 10:30 program? What is the 10:30 in the LDP?
And I need a slide changer.
You have with you? This one, I'll just take a picture. Okay. Yeah, I know. Divakant, you will take over at 10 after this talk, no? Divakant? After this, I have to go for another session. Next session, I think Dr. Nirmal Frederick, Anurag Mishra, and Kasturi Bhattacharya, all are not busy with the meeting, I think. So I hope you can, Shilpi also is not here. So I think you have to be the first speaker and start the session. So 5 minutes you have to give her extra for her. Can I take a picture of this? Where you got this book? Okay, I didn't take, okay. Thank you very much. And Dr. Anuradha, can you say something about yourself and then start?
Yeah. Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Dr. Anuradha Tote from Maharashtra, Amravati, and I'm a motivational speaker and a life coach and an ophthalmologist. And I love my passion. My passion is both, like ophthalmology as well as motivational speaking. So should I go ahead, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, a very good morning, and I thank the AIOS for giving me this wonderful, wonderful opportunity, and of course, Dr. Prashant Bawankore, sir, who has coordinated and he has given me an opportunity to interact with this August gathering. So my topic today is very, very interesting, and it is leadership lessons from Mahabharata.
So Anuradha, just sorry for interrupting. How do we enroll as my life coach?
Pardon, sir?
How do we enroll as a life coach?
As a life coach. Actually, I have taken the formal training, sir.
No, I know. I am
JC.
asking how do I enroll myself as a, you as my life coach.
Okay.
You-
You are
same
most
answer
welcome
for all of
anytime.
you. Now, how do we
You
do
can
that?
contact me through email
Okay.
and you can enroll.
You can put
as
your
well.
email in the last
Sure,
session.
sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry
Yeah,
for interrupting.
no issues. Okay. So, to begin with, leadership lessons from Mahabharata. Yes? So, Ano Bhadra Krisheyantu Vishwaha. So, let noble thoughts come from everywhere. Let learning be from everywhere and from each one of you. We all are learning, and in this process, I am the facilitator, and I am sure that I'm going to learn much more than you people are. So it's a sharing. We will all learn, and let us implement these leadership lessons in our lives. So as we all know, leadership is about the ability to inspire. It is about the ability to influence, and it is about the ability to empower and motivate people, not only individuals, but also teams, and make them achieve their goal, a common objective, which all of us, I'm sure we all know about this, right? So I just want all of you to close your eyes for a second. Kindly close your eyes, all of you. I request all of you to close your eyes. Now, only the leader, whoever is a leader, he or she will raise her hand, will raise his hand. Can you please now open your eyes? Keep raising your hands. Oh God, yes. I am so happy that almost all are leaders here. And so we just need to sharpen our skills. And to sharpen our skills, what is better than the ancient epic of Mahabharata? Mahabharata, as we all know, is that ancient epic which had the power struggle amongst the same group of people, the Kauravas and the Pandavas. So not only that, it shows that there were family dynamics, lessons of family dynamics, and it was spiritual learning as well as leadership lessons, and so many things we can learn from Mahabharata. But it is like, it's going to be a Herculean task. It needs 3 to 4 days, a workshop for these lessons to be learned. But as an opportunity, I will take it and I will try to squeeze it into 20 minutes. Well, so as we move about, and I know we all are ophthalmologists, so I am going to connect it to ophthalmology. Are we all ready? Let's have an interactive session. Are we ready? Yeah. Fine. Yes. I pity the blind and the blindfolded. Who comes to your mind? Dhritarashtra, yes. So Dhritarashtra was physically blind. But he was not only physically blind, but also he did not have the ability to see or to learn what is happening. His son Duryodhana, all his sons, but Duryodhana, for that matter, was the very immoral actions of his were overlooked by Dhritarashtra. He knew he was going wrong. Still, he did not object to it. So a person who cannot see and a person who chooses not to see, his wife Gandhari, both these leaders were not very good leaders, and this is what we learn from them, that one should not turn a blind eye towards the realities in life. May it be your organization, may it be your hospital, may it be your company. If you turn your blind eye towards what is happening, you will never realize the wrong things which are happening, and you won't be able to take action against these. So this is the learning we get from Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. And of course, the example which we can give today is the politicians. They turn a blind eye towards what is happening in the society, about what is happening to the people, to their own people. They turn a blind eye towards them, and they try to achieve their own selfish goals. So this is wrong as a leader. Yes. So real eyes realize the real lies. So here the good leader comes, that he has to keep his eyes open to all that is happening and take action like that, according to that. I am best known for my focus. Who comes to your mind? Very easy. Yes, Arjuna. There are many answers, but yes, Arjuna. Arjuna being the world's best archer. We know that. And all this came because of his dedication towards his training, dedication to his performance. He was the best warrior in the battlefield. So as we all know, once Dronacharya took all of them to the forest, and then he said that you have to shoot at the bird's eye. And he asked each one of them, Kauravas and Pandavas, what do you see? What do you see on that tree? So some said they see the tree, some said they see the leaves, some said they see so many other things, the bird as a whole. But Arjuna, what he said is, I see the eye of the bird. And very accurately, very precisely, what he did is, he aimed at the eye and he shot it. So this is what is focus. And focus for a leader is very, very important. If there is focus, then all the hurdles that come in your life are mere distractions, and you can get away with it and still reach the goal. We have seen the recent movie, 12th Fail, right? And in 12th Fail, Vikrant Massey played a wonderful role, Manoj Kumar Sharma. And this Manoj Kumar Sharma, the IPS officer, we all know it's his life story, and how this person from a village, a very small village, a very poor person, so many setbacks, so many obstacles, but still he reached his goal and he became an IPS officer. So this is how, when you have focus in life, you will reach the goal. So Arjuna teaches us about focus in life. And the same thing happened during Draupadi's Swayamvar. There were so many kings and princes who came there, but still could not shoot the fish, the eye of the fish. But this person, when they were in exile, the Pandavas, Arjuna went as a Brahmin, and he went there and he could shoot accurately at the eye of the fish, though the fish was moving. So this is the accuracy, and this is what focus can do. And I think focus is the most important thing for a leader. Yeah. Myopia can lead to complications. Whom do you think is myopic? Whom do you think is myopic in Mahabharata?
Oh, Mahabharata.
Mahabharata. Yeah, there are many characters. And yes, actually Mahabharata has been retold and written in so many languages by so many people in different regions that the interpretations are different. So you and I, both, we can be correct. And still we can have differences of opinion. So myopia, according to me, myopic is Duryodhan. Why I say Duryodhan is myopic? Because he was given a choice. He could either take the Narayani Sena or he could take Lord Krishna on his side. But he did not, because he couldn't see. He couldn't see the wisdom of Krishna. He couldn't see the divine energy. He couldn't see the tremendous potential which Krishna possessed. And still, then what he did is, he went in for Narayani Sena. The second time when I felt that Duryodhan is myopic is when he did not, when the Pandavas came for the peace, like offering peace, and they said that, okay, now we are not going to do any war. He did not even accept that offer, when he knew that they are more stronger than us and we will be defeated, but still he went on. So this is how Duryodhan was myopic. And yes, of course, short-sightedness as a leader is not at all good. Many leaders, what they do is they just think about quarterly profits. There are many CEOs of many companies. For example, like it is said about Jack Welch, the CEO of General Electric, that he was so good at quarterly profits. He was doing so well. But later on, like his tenure was from 1981 to 2001. So later on, what happened, after his tenure, the company had to face so many challenges because his vision was he was short-sighted. And he did not look into development, he did not look into innovation. So a leader has to have a very good vision, a very good sight. He should be able to see far off, after 10 years what is going to happen, after 15 years what is going to happen, right? I just had an experience. We went for an inauguration. A friend of ours, a dentist, he had set up his clinic, and we went there. And then we saw that the reception area was so small that only 3 people could be accommodated. And we told him that this is not good, you'll have to, expand it. And within a year, now fortunately very good that his patients have increased, but within a year he had to demolish that part of the building, and he had to again set a new reception area. So you should have a good sight that after 10, 15 years what is going to be there, how it is going to be there, and then according to that, take action. Yes, so this is about Duryodhana. Eyes are the mirror of your soul. Who comes to your mind now? Eyes are the mirror of your soul. Who comes to your mind? No one? Okay, a bit difficult, right? I'll give you a clue. For me, a soul is pure, it is divine, it is ethical, it is about righteousness. Who comes to your mind now? Correct. Wow, great. Yudhishthir. Yes, Yudhishthir is the person who is so righteous. He goes about he only seeks for truth. And in any situation, be it any situation, he was the person who revealed that Swayamvar was there and we went there, and how Draupadi came to them. So this was revealed, and then they were sent to exile. Even in difficult situations, he always followed the right path. And we all remember, after the war was over and the Pandavas won the war, and after that, when the Pandavas started going to Himalayas, right? So there was one dog which was following them. So one by one, Arjuna left, Bhim left, everyone left. But this dog was there with Yudhishthira till the end. And at the doors of Indra, at the doors of heaven, Indra came to receive them and receive him. And he said, Yudhishthira, you may come. But then what Yudhishthira said? I will come only if you allow this dog to come with me. He was my companion. He was my companion all through my journey. I will not leave him alone. So this is Yudhishthira. I think we all know these lessons, but once we revise it, we can implement it better. So see, a patient of cataract comes to us. The vision is 6/9, and this patient does not want to get operated, okay? But some doctors might say that no, it is urgently required. It is urgently required. I don't know how it is urgently required. And this patient then again goes to another doctor, and that doctor will tell him, no, it is not urgent enough. This is not urgent enough. Then that patient, will never come back to you if you have said so. And you will not only lose that patient, but also you will lose their family, their friends, and so on. So it is always good to be ethical. I don't possess tunnel vision, but can make you go through the tunnel. Who comes to your mind? Vidur? Okay, I have a difference of opinion here. Any other answer? Sanjay, he just told about what is happening, right? Tunnel vision, something you remember? I don't possess tunnel vision, but can make you go through the tunnel. It is Bhim. Bhim, the person who is known for his strength. He's known for his strength, his valor, his resourcefulness. As a leader, we must possess all these qualities. And why do I say that he makes you go through the tunnel? When they were in exile, after the period of exile actually, they were into anonymity for 1 year, the Pandavas. And when they were into anonymity, what happened is, they were staying in a hut, a small hut, and they came to know from their sources that Kauravas are going to burn that hut. And in 1 day period, like only one night, Bhim with Yojana, he built a tunnel. He built the tunnel and he made his family go through the tunnel first, and then he went last. So that is how he, prioritized his family, and look at his strength, that he did it in 1 night, and the family was safe, and then the hut or the home was burnt. So this is how Bhim teaches us about strength, about valor, about resourcefulness. So I think now strength, when we talk of strength in these days, strength is about your knowledge. Strength is about your skill. Strength is about planning. Strength is about execution. any kind of strength can be utilized. And if you have all these strengths, like we can say Sundar Pichai of Google, he's well known for his knowledge in technology. And look at what heights he has taken Google to. So these are the modern day leaders. And we can, of course, learn lessons from characters of Mahabharata. Yes. Eye donation is a noble gesture. Eyes are donated after death. Can you think of someone who embraced death as per his wish? Bhishma, very true, ma'am. Bhishma, yes, Bhishma Pitamaha, the grandfather of Kauravas and Pandavas, the grand uncle, I should say, of Kauravas and Pandavas. Such a great personality. Both Kauravas and Pandavas both respected him. And he was so true to the throne. And we all know about his Bhishma Pratigya. What was Bhishma Pratigya? Bhishma Pratigya was much before Kurukshetra war. You know, he took the Pratigya that he is not going to marry, he's not going to have sons or daughters, and he will be away from the throne. So even when he got the chance, he did not take it, and he gave it to his brothers. So he is respected for that. So he walks the talk, right? And there are so few leaders. There are many leaders who make big promises, very big promises, and then never fulfill it. So I think a leader is one who makes realistic promises and makes it happen. So when leaders make it happen, many people give the example of the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Ardern, correct. Ardern, the Prime Minister of New Zealand, she talks about compassion, she talks about, you know, the environmental change, and she does it. She implements laws for it. She implements the Zero Carbon Act. She implemented policies against child poverty. So this is how the leaders can walk the talk. So we can have leaders like this. So we can imitate Bhishma in this way. Yes, and no prizes for this answer. Who is the visionary? Krishna, obviously Krishna, yes. And there are so many lessons to learn from Krishna. So I thought let us learn about the leadership styles, right? One person using different leadership styles in different situations and making it happen. Going for the truth and righteousness, the path of peace and harmony. So if you remember, Jarasandh chose Bhima, right? Jarasandh chose Bhima to fight with because he felt that, okay, he can be a competitor. He is, you know, equal to me. Let us compete. And they had a fight. When they had a fight, what happened is, Bhim, what he used to do, he used to kill Jarasandh. And whenever he killed Jarasandh, the two bodies were again reunited. Now, many times this happened that Bhim used to kill and the bodies were getting united. So now what are we going to do? He was confused. So what Bhim did, he looked at Krishna. And Krishna, what he did, you know, he picked up a small stick from the ground, he broke it into two, and then he threw it apart in opposite directions. And then Bhim got the clue, and then what he did is, he killed Jarasandh, he made the body, two parts of the body, and he threw the body parts in two different directions. And that is how he killed Jarasandh. So this is the manipulative style of leadership. Now, as we all know, on the battlefield, in the Kurukshetra war, on the battlefield, Krishna was not ready for the war. As he saw his relatives, his brothers, his Guru Dronacharya, he saw Bhishma Pitamaha, everyone on the other side of the war, and he said that I'm not going to take a step ahead. And that time, Lord Krishna persuaded him. And he said that you have to do the war because, okay, I'll just wind up now. So you have to go in for the war because it is your duty as a Kshatriya to do it. So this is the authoritative style of leadership. And one more style of leadership which I would like to mention is the participative style of leadership. When he tells Yudhishthir, the person who is known for truth and righteousness, he tells him that you have to convey the message to Drona that his son is dead. And actually, he's not dead. So they kill an elephant and he says, Ashwathama Hatha Kunjaravo. And Kunjaravo he says very softly. So the message goes as that Ashwathama is killed and Dronacharya is disheartened and he falls in the battle and he dies. So this is how this was the participative style of leadership. Yes. Can I have a recap in a video of 1 minute?
Okay.
I'll just run through it. Can we have the video? Yes, so these are the lessons of leadership we have learned. The first one was that we shouldn't turn a blind eye towards what is happening in our organization or our company or our hospital. Being blind and choosing not to see will lead to chaos in your company, in your hospital. So it's not a good sign of a leader. Then we saw the short-sightedness of Duryodhan. And leaders should not be short-sighted. They should not have a big ego. Arjuna is known for his focus. And when a focus is there in a leader, then it is very easy for him and his team to get what they want, to reach the target. We also saw how Bhim is full of strength and resourceful. And you can use your knowledge, your skill, your resourcefulness for your hospital and your company. Yudhishthir is known for his ethics. And once a leader is ethical, he is respected everywhere. Bhishma is the person who walks the talk. And if you walk the talk, bole taisa chale, tachi vandavi pavale, means people will respect you and people will follow you. And then we learned the leadership lessons from Krishna, the authoritative style of leadership, the participative style of leadership, and the manipulative style of leadership. If we implement all this, you will become a masterpiece, a leader.
Isn't it nice?
So all the
when
best,
things just
everyone.
work?
And I'm very sure we all will become great leaders one day. Thank you so much for a very patient listening.
Thank you, Dr. Anuradha. You can just give you a certificate on behalf of AOS. In the meantime, Dr. Namrata has just joined us. She doesn't read introduction. She's our scientific chair, and she's an international women leader. Dr. Anuradha. Can I have your card? Okay. Yes, Namrata.
Okay. Thank you. It's, I think, a great session, and I would like to thank Dr. Prashant Bhavankule for making it and for making me a part of it. The talk he gave me was empowering women, and I thought it was a general kind of a talk, not related to ophthalmology. And while making this talk, the facts that came through are not something that we wouldn't expect, but then they are very starking. So I think it is time to break the bias, and gender equality today is required for a sustainable tomorrow. And is there a question that you have to break the bias? Yes, I think the answer is that yes, we do have to break the bias. And if you look at the World Economic Forum's Gender Gap Report in 2017, it mentions that the female talent remains one of the most underutilized business resources, and without gender equality, a sustainable future or even an equal future remains beyond our reach. Now, if you look at the Gender Gap Report in 2021, the gender gap score in 2021 was 67%. That means the gap to close between men and women is about 32%. And this is a step back compared to 2020, and this gender gap did widen even in the COVID period. So if we take on its current trajectory, it will take 135.6 years to close the gender gap worldwide, which means it's not happening in our lifetime at all. Now, there are 4 key areas of gender gaps: political participation, economic participation, educational attainment, health and survival. And if you look at the political participation, it is 22% closed till date globally. Women represent 26% of all parliament seats and 22.6% of the ministers worldwide. And in 81 countries, there's never been a woman head of state. So at the current rate of progress, it will take about 145 years to attain the gender equality in politics, which again is not there. As far as the economic participation and opportunity is concerned, second largest area of gender gap is this, and current closure rate is only 58%. And in terms of years to close it, it will take 200 plus years. Again, not happening in our lifetime. Of all the managerial positions, only 22% are being filled by women. But we are better here in educational attainment. 95% of the gender gap is already closed. That means we are really literate. And on current trajectory, it might take 14.2 years to completely close this gap. So if we are fortunate, it will happen in our lifetime. So I think the crux is that as far as the education is concerned, we are there. But as far as the politics is concerned, health is concerned, and as far as other areas are concerned, we are not there. In terms of geography, of course, the South Asia is the worst, followed by Middle East and North Africa. And to close the geographical, if you look at geographically, it will take largest number of years in South Asia, and it will be quickest to close in Western Europe and in North America. Again, if we look at the various countries in our geographical region, we are slightly better off as compared to the others. And again, this is the share of participation of the work across India from 2014 to 2022 by gender. Then males do 67% and females only do 33%. In professional and technical roles, we are about 30%. That means only 1/3 of us are in technical jobs, and about 14.6% are there who are in senior positions. As far as the income is concerned, in India it is less than 20.7% of an average man, and this disparity is again more as compared to the other developed countries. Progressive, like I said earlier, only in educational attainment we are more advanced in India also and otherwise also. And health and survival, there is 94.2% of the gap closure rate, and lower performance of large countries such as India and Pakistan is mainly because of the social beliefs which are persistent in our part of the region. So we need to break this bias, and we can forge women's equality program. At least if it doesn't happen for the future generations, we can create a world which doesn't have this inequality. The government has taken a lot of efforts like the PCPNDT Act, the Female Infanticide Act, Dowry Prohibition Act, ban on ultrasound testing. And there are government schemes like Educate the Girl Child, then Asia and Pacific Generation Equality. We have women leaders in police forces who have been really acclaimed and have been awarded. We have women in finance, just to show a few, whose earning is also more and who actually teach the basics of the stock market. And we have women entrepreneurs in our own country who are CEOs and co-founders of various companies which have net worth of many hundreds of crores. We have women in sports who have done India proud in various international events. And even in medicine, India's first female doctor who made Calcutta Medical College started admitting women, and we are in Kolkata today, was Dr. Kandamani Ganguly, again a symbol of women's liberation. In medicine, again, we do have women leaders. The first Indian female physician, Dr. Anandibai Joshi, who gained a degree in Western medicine, and Marie Curie, who won or received 2 Nobel Prizes. So there have been anecdotal and isolated reports, but I think as a whole group, we need to move together. There are leaders also in politics who have overcome the barriers of gender inequality and racial differences. And although the number is less, but I think the impact has been strong and significant also because the number is less. They get noticed more, and maybe that doesn't happen for the male counterpart. So that is the only area where, we excel. So I would like to conclude by Dr. APJ Kalam's saying that empowering women is prerequisite for creating a good nation. And when women are empowered, society with stability is assured, and it is essential in their value system, which leads to the development of a good family, society, and ultimately a good nation. So thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you, Namrata. Happy to give you a certificate to the scientific chairman. And in the meantime, can I ask Nirmal to come? We are a little few minutes late, so that I can be relieved. Namrata, yeah.
Anurag sir also.
Thank you all, and request Nirmal and Shilpi to take over. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, sir.
See you in the evening.